So before we get to the topic, prelims, great, amazing. One of the best fight night cards of the year for the prelims. Meinfield versus Walker, terrible. Honestly, I'm glad they got cut from the sport. Silva, a beautiful performance. Ralph Font and Brazilian guy, I forgot his name. Not that great, in my opinion. I mean, it's a fight of the night, but not that great. Edit. I didn't know Meinfield versus Walker was fight of the night, which is honestly a disgrace. Honestly, they should be cut from the sport. I don't know why. Ralph Font and Matsumo was not fight of the night, but it is what it is, I guess. Brandon Allen versus Anthony Hernandez. I got some things to say in a different video, but the main topic is Cejudo versus Song Yadong. And I'm a bit real. In the casual eyes, Cejudo quit. This is where I say this. Cejudo, in those 5 minutes, I believe he was just thinking about how is this fight worth it? Is it worth it to really go for a war and put on a show against a young guy who's still explosive, who got power and got striking, and he's compromised with the eye? And is it really worth it to get knocked out just to gain the respect for the audience, or go home and live another day? And I feel like, in my opinion, and during those 5 minutes, I feel like he said, nah, I am not doing this anymore. I'm not doing this. It ain't worth it, basically. Because if I was in his position, I'd say, yeah, it's not really worth it no more. Because come on, think about it for a second. Cejudo has accomplished everything. He's beating one of the most dominant flyweight champion that's ever graced on planet Earth. The glaze is necessary, of course. And then beating TJ Dillashaw, and then after that, beating Marlon Moraes to become the bantamweight champion. So he became 2 division and is already a gold Olympic wrestler. He's already the greatest, one of the greatest sport athletes of all time. No denying these big facts. In 2020, when he had his run, at one point he was looking to be as the guy who could potentially become the first and probably only triple division champion. Of course, his dumbass thought that he was worth millions because of his accomplishment, which, he's not worth like that. The flyweights or the small weight division fighters are not even worth that much money unless you're Tank Davis, McGregor, or Floyd Mayweather, unless you those guys, or Ryan Garcia. But other than that, the flyweight division, the bantamweight division, the UFC ain't worth nothing unless you're O'Malley. But other than that, you're not worth nothing. He's accomplished everything. He got a family. He got a podcast. He got everything. So at this point, it's like, is it really worth it to lose and get knocked out to this young man right here who can literally put your eyes out and is still explosive and is not getting tired for 5 rounds and looks more fresh as soon as the fight started? Is it really worth it? No, it's not really worth it. And I honestly don't blame him. I don't blame him losing. I don't blame him calling the fight. I don't blame him. However, I do blame him at blue balling the audience, where he made everyone believe in the audience that he was gonna fight, but he quit. I'm sorry to say, but it did turn out that he quit. There are other fighters that did, in fact, suffer more terrible injury. If he thinks that he still has a shot to become the champion, wrap it up, buddy. You're not able to become champion no more. Consider the likes of Merab, Umar, O'Malley, and Peter Yan are in the top contenders. You're not gonna make it. You're gonna get knocked out very badly with those guys, or get out wrestled for 5-round fights. So really, it's not worth it. He's already established his name in the legend books. There's no reason to keep continuing to fight when you've already done so much. If he wants to make a good money fight, then at this point he might as well go for Jose Aldo. 2 guys on a losing streak right now. It's worth it. Think about it. It's worth it. It's a better fight for those two guys. They're old, and who won't say no to that? Now for Song Yadong, in my opinion, the rematch should not be warranted. I feel like he just should go to other matches that will make more sense to him, which are Cheeto Vera for the second time, maybe O'Malley, or a rematch against Peter Yan or Davis Figueroa. One of those guys. Those fights are more better than another rematch for Cejudo because he's not gonna gain nothing from it. Because could you imagine if they do another rematch between those two, where if Song Yadong just KOs Cejudo in 2 rounds, and then everybody's gonna be like, oh, well, that fight is kind of pointless because he already beat him by taking the position. So at this point, this second match is really pointless. You know how much he would have gained? Those guys that I mentioned, those 3 guys that I mentioned, because it could lead to him either fighting the #1 contender or getting a title shot for fighting on those 3 guys instead of just fighting Cejudo for a rematch, in my opinion.